boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had...
Boom, welcome to Coffee with a Cop. We got Mendoza, I'm man Roger, and your boy Chris.
Welcome to our second episode of Coffee with a Cop, where we'll be doing a little review of week 3 and a little preview of week 4. So basically, for the little review of week 3, both me and Marin will be talking about our teams and basically how our conference went overall and our days went overall. And go ahead, Marin. What happened with the Falcons in week 3?
I mean, there's no excuses for what happened to the Falcons in week 3. Week 2 we went 4-0. Week 3 we went 1-3. I don't know, we weren't firing all cylinders like we usually do. And that's something that we gotta minimize if we do want to make it deep into the playoffs. People still talking shit about Lulu's arm, but he's throwing for 67%. So the people talking shit, I want to see you throw for 67%.
And week 3 was a very crucial week for you guys because of the fact that Lulu is missing week 4, correct?
Yeah, Lulu's gonna be missing week 4, and I still think week 4 we could still win some games. Ramet's not a horrible quarterback. I don't know where.
I can attest that he's not a horror. He's a good quarterback, actually.
He has weird mechanics, but at the end of the day, he still gets the ball to where it needs to go. So, hey, Falcons are not out. We're number 2 in the conference. Who's above us? The 49ers, and we'll see.
I'm letting you know right now that the whole league has you guys going 0-4.
I mean,
that's typical. No captain. That's the guarantee. The easy thing to say when you're going 0-4.
The best thing about this league is everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just don't give a fuck.
Great. That's what we love about this show. Well, on our end, the Cowboys had a really, really bad week.
Didn't Andy get done of the week?
Yes, he did. And I know the rumor out there is that I'm the one that created that. But if we're going to start believing everything Joan says from now on, then we're fucked as a league overall. So how that came about, on Saturday night, I was hanging out with some of the Swoosh guys at Twin Peaks for the fight and all that. I was already there with Jordan and Robbie hanging out. The guys got there last, easy. And out of nowhere, I get a text from Joan telling me how good the OJ was that morning. So out of conversation, I said, I'm here with the Swoosh guys, blah, blah. He's like, oh, Swoosh loves you. So I made the comment of, if Pat, his cousin, our great done deal PT, showed up for week 3, because I didn't hear him all game. And he said, well, yeah, he didn't talk, and he's mad at me because Gabe Sanchez told him that I was going to make him dud of the week. And I responded to that saying, no, Andy is the dud with the 7 interceptions he threw. And of course, he took off and ran with that. And that's how I got to Andy. That supposedly I reached out to Joan to make Andy dud of the week. But
so he manipulated what you said, like contorted it, or what was exactly said, so we understand.
I just said what I said. He said that Gabe.
No, what was it that Joan said that you said?
Oh, I don't know exactly what Joan told Andy, because all it got back to me was that I texted Joan to make Andy dud of the week.
So are you guys like beefing right now? You and Andy?
No, there's no locker room. The Cowboys camp is fine. We're regrouping for week 4. And I will tell you what, man, in a way, Joan did us a favor, because if I know something of my best friend of 32 years is don't give that guy something to prove, because that's when he's at his best, when he has something to prove. So I'm really looking forward to week 4, and which is why I said thank you to Joan for doing this, because he got my boy fired up. My boy, he knows we don't have to tell him anything of what went on in week 3. He's the first one that put everything on him, even though it was a team losses, we all play like shit. It's not like one of us were playing good and it was Andy misthrowing the ball. We all could have done a lot better.
What I did notice is that you have a good captain, man. He stepped up and said something along the lines like, "Hey, when we're winning, everyone
the quarterback
loves the quarterback.
when we're losing, everyone
the quarterback takes the blame."
Let me tell you, man, Georgie. I just recently met him and started getting to know him. Week 4 of last season, done deal, season 13, when he played with the Steelers. He filled in. And that's when I noticed what a dog he was. And I know Andy has mentioned this in previous episodes or in previous segments. But I've played already for 3 different captains in my little done deal history, and there's no captain that's as prepared as Georgie is. Georgie comes with a little black notebook and tells you, comes with the rotation set, everything, what you're gonna be doing, like, you know, it's.
Yeah, I got to shout out Lulu for that too, because he always has a game plan going into every week. Not that I don't know if you played with him or not, but hey,
No, I haven't had the pleasure of playing with Lulu. But I guarantee you, all I need is one snap, and I'll connect with him, Devin.
Always. So, what do you think? You saw the power rankings, Mendoza. How do you feel about these teams?
So
Mendoza's left out of the loop a lot
Yeah.
because he's not.
Mendoza, have you
the
been able to go out there at all?
not yet. I work Saturday mornings, so I haven't been out there yet. But yeah, all I get are like the Twitter notifications. So like that big like ham for Ricky trade is crazy, and then the Seahawks are still at the top of the power rankings. They came out there 4 strong. They still did their job last week, and with Michael Aguirre taking over for Ray, that team is stacked. I told you guys earlier, that team is stacked.
They are the
If
team to beat right
if Peaky
now.
can make Manny Sardinas, can make me look good, imagine what he could do with able-bodied people. Like, athletically able.
I mean, but everyone knew that coming into the season. You know, Peaky was always the dark horse to win it all.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But I mean, I just
He's
think
doing-
that-
he's doing
I
what he's
just
supposed
think
to be doing.
He was doing good with a team that just got better. So more is expected of him to do. Now it's more like on him to lose kind of
They
thing.
definitely
It's
got
how
better.
everyone is
No ifs or
thinking.
buts about it.
Peaky Seahawks.
And they're number 1 in the power rankings.
They're number 1 in the new release power rankings this morning.
Well, record-wise, I mean, yeah, they do deserve it. What
Record-wise, the way they've played,
their
I've
players
played them
on
already,
paper, they're
Yeah.
good.
and on
They
paper,
were the safe
they
choice to
should be
put
the
up there.
favorites.
They have nobody challenging them at the moment for that spot. And then number 2, we have the Patriots. Your boy Baca.
Who's boy? Your boy?
I thought that was your boy.
No, no.
Patriots is your boy.
I thought you wanted to go to his team before the season started. Isn't that what you said? That you would only want to play for Baca?
No. You would need to go back and find receipts on that before this season, because I highly doubt any of those comments came from my.
Maybe it's when he
From
saw
my
Baca perform in the playoffs, not on Baca's team.
That wasn't Baca. That was somebody else. By the way, Baca's not even the best Baca in his own family, so
Ooh.
that title goes to Chris Baca, the baller for the
Little Baca?
49ers.
That's wrong.
Yeah, he's a solid receiver, man.
Yeah, he makes the last name in that family.
Who do you
Chris
think is
Baca.
the weakest link on that team?
The weakest link most people would say is Tony,
That's
the tier
tier
5
five.
and all that. That's the easy answer, but
That's a bully choice right there.
yeah, but the easiest answer to that and the truth to that is their tier 4 CP.
Yo, you're not
What?
gonna be, you're not gonna be talking shit about me.
What?
Watch your legs.
Move.
Don't get hurt.
Y'all
You're
gonna
about
be
to pop.
talking about me, talking about the
Take it
Patriots
easy,
and this
take
and
it
that.
easy.
Now this shit just got interesting. You know what I'm saying? Now we're here.
Prove me wrong that you're not the weakest link.
What do
on
I
that
need to
team.
prove you wrong about?
No, no.
Where's your team rank? Where's your team rank compared to mine?
Oh shit.
My teams, I can't see them here.
Yeah,
on the first
they're not
page.
even on the
Hey,
list. I
hey,
see my
chill.
I see my team.
This
as
is
the
coffee
second
with a
best.
cop, now all the smoke.
Oh, we got a cop, so we good. So
I don't- I think they forgot to put the Cowboys in the power rankings this week.
Yeah, where they at?
I don't see it.
That's how bad y'all did.
Yeah, I mean,
Disrespect is
Oh
real.
no, you're right here, right here. You're number 11.
Okay.
Let's go back to my page. You know,
We have the same record if you
All right.
want to talk about this and that.
Yeah, it's
We're
fine.
going
I mean,
7-4-1.
the
Roger's just shocked right now.
Hold on, yeah.
Welcome back. Things got a little heated here in the Coffee with Cough.
We had to take a quick commercial break.
I guess welcome our guest. You know him from the hot seat. You
Let's
know
go.
him from being hurt on the field. You know him from
The
being a done
hamstring.
deal.
It's crazy, bro. I got a fucked up hamstring and we're still winning. That's crazy.
For you guys that don't know, this is CP.
And your winter tournament commissioner, Mr. Pineda.
Oh yeah, man.
And the next season.
And the next season.
He has a whole year to get healthy.
So back to
No
back.
excuses. Yeah, back to back. But yeah, the tournament, for the most part, is pretty smooth aside from some captains not sending me some videos, but it's all good.
That's an all-day event, man. That must be, to me, I think that must be harder to plan for a tournament because you got so many moving factors. right? Or
Well, the good thing is about that is Andres and Johan, you know, they've had experience in doing all this and stuff. So now actually like being in their shoes and now doing the stuff they have to deal with, it's I don't want to say it's a lot, but it's definitely like time consuming. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool, man. It's part of done deals, but what to do, and you know, it is what it is. But let's get back to this combo we had about the Cowboys, and then now the Patriots, right? So we come in here and the Patriots, right? I think it's one of the most interesting teams I've ever played for personally because we're small. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Tony and I are the tallest person that are not playing quarterback, but like Tony and I are not even that athletic. But Jaime, let me tell you, that guy plays like if he's 8'5". That guy has the heart of a champ, and Carlos is a dog too. His route running is incredible. Even though Baca and Carlos haven't really connected on the post, Baca ended up making a bad throw on the post that they connected, and Carlos made up for it. But you could see that connection is coming through. Once I think this team connects, because I feel like we're not even there yet. Like, we have a lot to get better in. This week 4 is gonna be very important for us. I think after this week 4, once we get things going, like, we're gonna be a problem. And I really enjoy this team, man. It's one of the teams that I've had the most fun playing in. You know, it's definitely way better than playing with Eddie. And you know, it's fun, bro.
Do you have more than 4 catches this season?
Yeah, I had 13 in 1 week.
Wow.
So, well,
Yeah.
but the one good thing I'm guessing about Eddie not throwing you the ball is he also didn't scream at you, right?
Nah, to be fair, Eddie only screamed at me once last season. I mean, I don't mind getting screamed at and all that. Like, I don't care about that when I'm wrong. But the video shows that he threw a pick. He got mad because he threw an interception to Peaky, and Peaky caught it. Peaky being Peaky goes, "Oh, CP." While before the ball, before he even caught it, he goes, "Oh, CP," gets the interception, and then he starts freaking out, you know. But it is what it is. I mean, they've had that little rivalry or whatever you want to call it from before, but it seems like things are better now. I mean, it's what Done Deal does. Done Deal effect, right? Forces people to talk, communicate,
The friendships
build
grows, yeah.
relationships. I don't mean I can't speak for their whole situation, but I mean it seems great to me, and that's something I love about Done Deal.
So, do you feel like Baca will take you to that championship level?
Baca 100%. The good thing about Baca is defensively, he's, in my opinion, easily top 2, top 3. He's getting every week better at quarterback. His offense is definitely built off, you know, making you think that we're doing something specifically, but then that big play is gonna come at any moment. But having Jaime, you know, it's just crazy how great those two have connected.
So I just finished, sorry I cut you out, I just finished playing a whole season in the other league that we don't talk about with a commissioner next to us. And having him on the team is like a cheat code with you guys, with Baca and him together. And earlier when I was talking about how good he runs his routes, I was referring to Jaime, not to Carlos.
Okay.
I haven't really seen much of Carlos play. Actually, the first time I've actually been able to watch him play was when I refed your game on Saturday, the last game when you guys played the Saints.
Right.
And he played very good in that muddy field that you guys were playing in.
I can attest to Baca's defense because he did tackle the shit out of Lulu, and it was a no call. So thank you, Russ, for that.
I mean, I don't know. Is there video on that play? Because all I remember, by the way, Lulu's flags, like he's already hard to pull, right?
The only Falcons video we have was in our intro, so
Oh my god.
We have more, but
Lulu's flags are already
that
hard to pull because he's fucking shifty as hell. But obviously you don't know this because you're on his team. Try pulling his flag is easily, like physically, the hardest flag to pull. So from my point of view in that play, it seemed like Baca grabbed the flag and it literally just the momentum took him down with him. I can't, like that's just my angle. I would love to see video on that play because I knew they had like a little discussion before or whatever. But after that game, bro, that was one of the coolest games I played this season. As in, like, there wasn't bitching, there was none of that like whack stuff that Kevin likes to do, just bitch at the refs. CC likes to scream sometimes at the refs.
or at JD.
Or the worst thing is something that pisses me off, and you guys should honestly get better at this because it's kind of whack. When you guys say, "Oh, I can't wait to ref your game. What is that, bro?
Yeah, that's
Like,
Do you
what
have
is
anyone
that?
saying that? Like, do you know anyone from the top of your head that
I
has said that?
simply said that. PD said that once or twice from the top of my head.
And a lot of times you don't even have to hear them say it because it's happened to us. For example, the referee crew should rename nameless, but we had just ref their game and they were mad about one of the calls that we made. And guess what? It just happened to be that the very next game when we played, we got them as a crew, and they came in and got their revenge, quote unquote.
Yeah, I do agree that that's like a childish mentality to have. I mean, we're grown men at the end of the day. Let's just play the game and get it done right. As long as everyone comes home healthy, then the rest, everyone makes mistakes, you know.
So outside the Patriots, what team, whether in your conference or the other conference, on your journey to a championship, do you not want to play? Or not that you don't want to play because I know you're up for a challenge.
Your toughest matchup.
Who do you think would be your toughest matchup?
I think on my side, I think the Dolphins, like on paper, when Ernie comes back, and when we tied them last week, I've always said this, they're so yeah, the toughest matchup, easily the Dolphins. On paper, they stack up very well. I think that trade for Ernie was incredible. That team's gonna be a problem.
They got Ernie for a bag of potato chips, bro.
Yeah, that was nuts. But I mean, that team's good. I mean, they competed versus us. They didn't even have Ernie. We were up that game, and we kind of let them come back. But they did their thing, bro. And David at the end of the day, he knows done deal. He knows what he's doing.
I was
just about to say that. You took the word. You can never count out David.
Arnold Boo is one of the better tier 5s. I like how he played. I think he's a good addition to done deal. Mikey, hilarious.
What about little D-Rock? How did he play against
Oh,
you
he
guys?
played well. He played well. He did his thing. I thought Mikey's hilarious. I love how he trolls people. At the beginning of the game, he comes up to 20 guys like, "Yo, y'all look scared as hell." And I just stared at him. I mean, I didn't stare at him. I just ignored him. Like, you ain't gonna get to me. But then Tony starts going, "Boy, I flip people smaller and bigger than you." And I'm like, "Tony, he's just trying to get you. Like, just stop." Like, you know.
So you got
You're
to
feeding
Tony
into
his
him.
head.
Yeah, you're feeding into him.
Yeah, but like, I just thought it was funny. You feel me? Like, I just went along with it. But
The
but
shit
yeah.
talking is what makes the
I loved
deal.
it. Yeah, I love it.
But at the end of the day, you know, we come together.
Yeah,
and,
I
you
love it.
know,
I thought it was funny, but yeah, in my opinion, toughest matchup on my side, for me looking at it is the Dolphins. You guys were definitely 1 or 2 for us as well, but I'm real talk. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. This week for you guys, it's gonna be tough, bro. I mean, you
We're
guys
still
went
gonna- we're
1
still making
and
the
3. You
playoffs.
guys went 1 and 3.
We're still making the playoffs regardless.
I haven't done the math. I don't know how that goes. With
I
this
think
and that, but you
Joanne
guys,
put a couple scenarios where you guys could miss the playoffs.
like, you guys might have to win 2 games.
I'm not rooting for you guys to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that there
Raymet
is a
to
reality
play,
where
in my
you
opinion,
can't miss the playoffs.
Lulu drafting Raymet effed up a bunch of other teams because he's definitely a starter for multiple teams.
At
At quarterback, in my opinion, from what I've seen, because I've seen him hit here and there. But yeah, I mean, for sure, Dolphins. I think that's a good matchup for us, and then probably Falcons if when they're healthy.
I think the
There's
biggest,
the only 2 Warriors that are on the same team are Chink and Robbie.
we should have favorable matchups going into week 4 though. I mean,
You know the schedule, right? So I mean,
I
It's
don't know.
your last game of week 1 and your first 3 of week 2 is who you're playing in that order.
Yeah, week 2 we went 4-0. So I
But
mean,
you had
so
Lulu.
there's a
Yeah.
shot. No, but there's a shot though. I
There's
get
a
what you're
shot.
saying.
and
You for sure-
like the games weren't close.
Like if you don't win 2 games,
Yeah.
that's what I say.
I could see the Falcons still winning at least minimum 2 games week 4, but I mean, I have a dog mentality, so I think we're going 4-0. Like that's
Speaking
just-
about
that's
dog
my
mentality, what do we call Kevin's mentality for quitting on his team?
You see, the Kevin situation is very, very unique because I mean, no one knew that he was gonna miss week 4, and then all of a sudden he's missing week 4 because he's a bridesmaid on honor or something like that. No disrespect.
Maid of honor, I think.
Bridesmaid out of honor.
No, he's the maid of honor.
He's the maid of honor, so something like that. I don't know what he said, but I mean, if you knew of this,
That sounds like
And
a
you
pretty
held
big-
back, and that trade
I mean,
went
If
through.
you're, if
The
you're
biggest-
somebody of like
yeah.
that type of honor, you know months ahead
Or
that
at least
you're gonna
weeks.
be
Guys.
that you're gonna be in the wedding.
It doesn't matter what it is.
You're letting down
You
your
gotta
team.
tell your team.
yes,
You have to communicate that to your team.
Well, that should have been known before the draft.
That's what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It was not.
your team is what you, like, the most important thing you need to tell is your team. You know, because I could bring back another situation in Done Deal where Yohan got hurt. Lulu played for 1 week, week 3 I think it was,
And then he missed.
week 4, and then they picked up Georgie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think the team knew that he was missing week 3. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I heard both sides from that situation,
So-
but Kevin's been in the league
He knows.
enough to know.
Yeah, like, tell your team,
communication.
like, it's
Exactly.
So do you think this was collusion? Do you think that?
I don't want to say collusion because if Jordan knew that Kevin was missing week 4 and no one else knew, and he goes and trades trades Kevin for a better player, then that's fucked
Well,
up.
Jordan and Kevin are close, they're friends. Do you think that that could have been something that?
The thing is,
has
you
come
hear
up?
a rumbling here, you hear a rumbling there, because what I've heard is that if Kevin would have gone 4-0 and been in playoff positioning, then he was taking a later flight to go to this wedding or whatever, and that he would have played week 4
I
and
can
just
see that.
left later.
Real talk. I can see that.
But that's fine, but that's what he still should have done, whatever. I mean, I guess it's easier for us to speak out of his shoes, but it's just going back to that premise of you can't talk shit about the Falcons last year when you're doing the same thing basically this year. When it's week 4, you guys are out of it, why show up?
Yeah, they gave Marshall and Kareem a lot of shit for that.
And Jeremy,
And
Jeremy, it's
Kevin-
okay to give
and
him shit all the
Kevin has
time.
always been talking up Done Deal, saying how great of a league this is, and I feel
How he
like
bleeds
I
Done
feel like if
Deal.
you bleed Done Deal,
There's nothing
even
over
if your
Done
team's gonna
Deal.
go 0-4 the last week, you're not in playoff, you still go out there and ride with your boys.
Yeah.
Even if you just got traded, like
And that's what this is what Done Deal's about, is about, that relationship, that friendship. How are these players gonna look at Kevin now for quitting on them week 4? I mean,
Because some of them won't say it. I mean, the only one I've seen on the chat say it straight up is Eric. But some of them won't say it, but I know that that's how some of them feel. That they quit, that he quit on them.
Look, at the end of the day, Kevin got traded or whatever, whether he knew or not to, like a worse situation, that's a fact, right?
Yeah, it's a fact.
But it's Done Deal. Like, shit happens, like whatever he was trying to shop Jordan or not, whatever the case may be, like it happens, man. Like, I've been traded before to a situation I super disagreed with. I got upset, but what? I went out there and I played, I balled. Got traded to the Giants, which was the 10th seed overall. Came back, made the playoffs, made it to the semifinals. It could be possibly done. Obviously, this is different. This is not going into week 4. But let's just say if Kevin would have gone 4-0, I honestly do think, is like what you said, he would have taken a later flight and it would have came out and competed. Now, if y'all want to say that's morally incorrect, this and that, that's for everybody's opinion to take. It's like you were saying earlier. The good thing about Done Deal is everybody has their own opinion. They can form it. It's whether they care about it or not. But it is what it is. GG's.
GG's, man. GG's indeed.
So we should take turns now and go through our team schedules for week 4, what we need to do, because even us that we started off so strong and so we have work to do. Like, it's not just show up and we're in the playoffs. We have to take care of business. We have, how can I say, we have the most difficult part of our schedule coming up. We got the Bears, the Panthers, the New Look Panthers, and the New Look Seahawks. Like, the Panthers and the Seahawks are going to be 2 completely new teams from when we faced them in week 2. The Titans are also going to be a completely different team than when we faced in week 2. Like, now it's Julio and Marshall taking the snaps. They don't have a true quarterback, so it's going to be how are we going to defend them? I don't know what kind of offense they're running, if it's that gimmick handoff every play, or if one of those guys is sitting back there and actually playing traditional quarterback. So we'll see. The only team that's still intact from our first matchup is the Bears, who in week 1 gave us our toughest run. But the Cowboys, we got to come in and take care of business and clinch and go into the playoffs with some momentum and positive things going for us. Because I'm telling you, last week it was a very down, cloudy storm in our clubhouse. And not that any of us are against each other or anything like that, because we're not. We have good morale. On the contrary, it took our worst week for us to actually go and get some beers and stuff after the game and hang out as a team. So we're all there for each other. But we need to come out guns blazing.
Let me ask you a question about the Cowboys now that you're saying that.
Go ahead.
So, Andy gets put on the hot seat, right?
Yes,
He
sir.
4-0, balled out, right? Like, wow.
Balled up.
Let's be honest.
And he continued that from balling out, because it wasn't just done deal. Andy had been coming off a stretch where he had been playing the best quarterback I've seen him play in a long time for the previous 4 to 5 weeks before week 1, and continued it in week 1.
So, week 1, 4-0, great week. I brought it up in the hot tea. I'm like, yo, this sounds familiar to a previous season with the Vikings where they came out hot and then all of a sudden they just went. And in my opinion, well, no, not my opinion, it's a fact. What's happening? It's literally the same thing. So what do you think? I don't want to hear, oh, this is a team thing, this isn't that. This is just like an opinion. Like, what do you think needs to
Are we
get better?
filming the hot seat with Coffee with a Cop right now?
Sure.
What we're doing?
What do you think, in your opinion, needs to improve? Like, what's an issue? I'm not saying to call anybody out. It's not just from your perspective, because you're a part of the team. I would love to know, what do you think the main
Our
issue
offense needs
is?
to get going. And that's all 5 of us giving extra effort, because the same way I will pull Andy to the side and tell him you missed this throw, I had to pull a couple guys to the side and say, hey, you missed your assignment here and I didn't think you gave it your best effort here. We just all need to go and give 100% effort like we did in week 1. And it's not like we were not doing it on purpose. I don't know if it was lackadaisical, if we thought we were going to, since we had pretty much our same week 1 schedule, we came out maybe too confident that we were going to run through it again. I don't know what it was. But, and to your point about us going like this, I feel like in week 2, we started off 0-2. But we could have won those 2 games and had another 4-0 week, because the Panthers took a 3-0 lead on us, and we came back to make it 3-3.
Yeah, I heard that was a crazy game.
We had a chance to win it at 4-3, and we still. So in week 2, it wasn't because of our play. Like, we played some really good teams, and you repped our game against the Seahawks.
That was a good game.
And that game came down
To the last play?
To the last play. And what made them win? I'm not taking anything away from Pete or from Ray or from anything like that, but it was a great communication where we left the middle of the field wide open.
Right.
So, and then we came out and we took care of business against the other 2 teams that, if you put us on paper, teams that we should have taken care of. So I really feel that the only week we really struggled was week 3. And I mean, that's an understatement. But I'm very looking forward to us coming out week 4, because like I said before, when my boy Andy Hernandez has something to prove, he usually comes out guns blazing. And I don't say that just in sports, I mean that in any aspect of life, since I've known him since we were 9 years old. You come out and you make that guy give you something to prove, and he's gonna prove you. So
Actually,
looking forward to
I
it.
have an interesting thing to bring up here. I just think this is. So you look at the Seahawks, right? Number 1 seed, right, in the North. You look at the 49ers, the top seed. The Falcons dropped down a little bit, but they're still number 2. You look at the Dolphins, number 3, Patriots, number 4, right? So these are all top teams, quote unquote. All these teams, 49ers, Dolphins, Patriots, Seahawks, have all made moves, right? So Falcons have not made a move, and the Giants, that are number 2, have not made a move on their top. Do you guys
And the Cowboys did not make a
think that making a move and done deal is important to winning that star? Like, it's very tough to win a star in the deal. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure maybe you guys correct me.
The Rams.
The Rams.
The Rams. See, look, a team like the Rams. Trying to think of another team.
In my opinion, it all goes based on how that certain team and their chemistry is going that certain season. Because maybe you give David that same team again this year, and they're not the same. I don't know.
I think the Rams is a special occasion because Forrest played out of his mind.
He drafted his brother in tier
Harold
3.
was a steal at tier 5. He got Daniel at tier 3. Like, that was a solid team. But I think in done deal, like, that's an anomaly. What happened with the Rams, that they went from an OG team. And of course, I'm not talking about like season 1, season 2. There's hardly ever trades in that. But I think now
I think trades is more prevalent.
the team is
Oh, yeah,
the done deal is
today's.
evolving so much, and people are learning so much more about their teammates and what they can do on the field, that you need to make trades to find your weaknesses and get rid of them.
I don't fully agree that you had to make a trade because, like Roger brought up, if that team is cohesive and the chemistry is out of this world, why make that trade?
There was no reason for them to make a trade.
Example:
That's what I said, yeah.
Week 2, Falcons went 4-0. Week 3, we went 1-3. Does that mean that we need to make a trade, or did we fuck up eternally, or did the teams get better? Who knows? We'll find out week 4. So
When you replayed, because you played your week 1 schedule a few games again, were those brand new teams?
they were all brand new teams.
and they came out and they did work.
So obviously our game plan might have been the same, but we just need to adjust the game plan. And all of our games were close. It wasn't like we had any
battled.
blowouts.
Look, I'm not going to tell you that because as a captain you have to. I'm sure Georgie explored trade for who, for what, I don't know. But as a captain, I'm sure that's you have to do your due diligence. How can I make my team better?
Right. It's like what Peaky did with Ham and Ricky. Like, if you're in Peaky's shoes, you get offered Ricky, you know.
You're taking that trade.
Like, it's like,
Of course.
Especially the
Like,
stand.
no
He
disrespect
wasn't
to Ham,
worried.
because
He wasn't
Ham's
worried
balling
about
out
losing
and
some
he
games.
balled out with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
He did his thing, and he sucks. He always gets traded. I get that. No one likes to be traded, you feel me? But
I think I'll feel honored, like if I'm traded every season, because obviously
I would be the
like,
same way.
No,
I haven't been
I'll
traded,
be
but I'll be
upset.
like
I'll be
somebody
upset.
else wants me.
I'll be bothered. As I'm assuming, like, bro, like you're already in the best team, right?
Yeah.
And then you get traded to the Cardinals, which are towards the bottom of the playoffs right now.
They're fighting for the 6th seed
But, like,
in,
fuck,
in our
like-
conference.
I'll be like, damn, like they got Ricky. You
But
feel
let-
me? Like they got no
But
scrub
also,
back. You know, they
in
got someone that's good.
In previous seasons, Ham got traded to teams that had no chance.
yeah.
At least with the Cardinals, he gets to fight with the
He has a
Cardinals.
shot. He has a
to
shot.
to get to the
chance.
playoffs, and then potentially go against his team that traded him. And I'm sure that fuels Ham, and that he's taking it.
I'll tell you
better
this,
this year than
man.
in years
Ham
past.
showed up at 7:15 on Saturday. I had never seen that guy show up so early. So he
He's hungry.
came with a chip on his shoulder.
He's hungry. He's hungry. I mean, that team in general is just interesting to me.
So
Who, the Cardinals or the Seahawks?
I would always have the utmost respect for
Seahawks
him because
like the
we want to
great
start together,
Cardinals are-
green team. So shouts out to him. Keep on doing what you're doing, baby.
So what teams on the cusp do you think are gonna, like, who do you think is in, who do you think is out, based on previous play?
Bro, this is done deal.
I'm gonna say my bold prediction will be that the Jaguars get in over the Cardinals in our conference.
that's.
I mean, yeah, they're only 1 point away. So it's Cardinals have 14 points, Jaguars have 13, and Titans have 13. So yeah, I mean, Eric Laura leaving definitely.
I just
for his daughter's
played.
birthday is tough.
I just played Eric. We just played the Jaguars this week. They beat us 4-1. They returned that medicine from us, and they were going 4 strong. And the way that he had his new team playing with Joe and stuff like that, like you don't want to see those guys right now.
So what is it? Top 6 teams make it?
Yes, sir. 6 teams in each conference.
Yeah, this is gonna be
On the
interesting.
cusp, we have the Raiders, Saints, Ravens.
I think
The Raiders got a lot better. Oh, so the Raiders, in my opinion, definitely upgraded their team. Matt and Tommy. Tommy might be a little bit better of a quarterback, this and that, but what Matt brings to you defensively, just in that one-on-one comparison of Matt versus Tommy, is not even close. So, how do we feel about the consistency of the DDPA with their, not trades, because I'm more of the kind of guy that says if 2 captains agree to a trade, it should be
unless
allowed.
there's some sketchy stuff going on.
Even if it's the tier 1 for the tier 5, if the 2 captains wanted it, it should be, but whatever, that's a topic for another time. The inconsistencies of the DPA have been with bringing in people off the street, and in my opinion, in this one, the Raiders got better. They're in your conference. How do you feel about that?
Raiders 100% got better. Not like you said. Yeah, Tommy's a slightly better quarterback, right? But Matt overall as a flag football player is better. It's better.
Right.
Speaking as a player, not as an owner, not as I think 100% is no. Like Matt makes that team better. But realistically too, like from a competitor's like perspective, like okay, I'm ready. I don't care.
Yes.
We'll play against them. Like it's
There's-
fine.
There is the competitor's perspective.
Like
Where was Tommy drafted?
this is the way that I see it. Like in my opinion, yes, I think Matt overall is better, right? but that's just my opinion. But where would Tommy have been drafted, and where would Matt have been drafted? I think more or less it would have been drafted around the same spot because of the value they bring.
So from my perspective as being a part of the DDPA, that's how I took things into perspective. I'm like, okay, let's look at the talent that we have here. I know Matt, so I can speak on, you know, his talent and what he brings to the table. And I'm not gonna say no to Matt because he's a man of the Lord. I don't want to go to hell. So Matt, if you're watching this, please pray for me, all right? So I'll let someone else say no. But realistically, where are they gonna be drafted?
What,
You
was
know?
it a unanimous decision?
Well, I can tell you that
I can't say it was.
If
It
you
was
remember.
in the
if I recall
NCAA
it.
Bowl, which is the last time we have to go back to a draft with both of them, Matt was taken ahead of Tommy.
But the talent now, we can go back and.
Are we
do
talking about the
whole-
tournament?
Yeah.
And then Tommy went to win the tournament?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
you got to take all that into
I mean,
factors.
in general, I would say this year the DDPA, it's definitely the most. Obviously, it's only been twice, right? Yeah. My opinion was a little bit worse in consistency wise.
then last year?
Yeah, because I'm hearing different reasonings. I'm hearing different reasonings back and forth, and I think there needs to be a consistency. Whether they were saying, oh, that they're going off previous rankings, or they're going off where the players were drafted and not going off the actual rankings. You know, I think as in the future, how I'm gonna speak to my DDPA. I'm not blaming Johan at all because I just think that this specific DDPA just didn't come as collectively as a team as I thought they should. Just sit down and look at the players. Don't look at the current team. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go off saying, oh, if they get this player, this team's gonna be way better. No, only compare off player A and player B. Don't go off the rest of the players on the team. Yes, of course, teams are gonna think that they're getting better. I'll go back to the Seahawks trade or Mike Aguirre. Mike Aguirre is a perfect example. Yes, some people are saying that Ray could do a little bit more on offense, this and that. I just think people were uneducated about Michael Aguirre.
Yeah.
Michael Aguirre is definitely 100% a mid-tier 4 in my opinion.
Correct. I agree with that.
Athletically, he can do a lot of things.
Hard.
His heart is crazy.
His motor, he doesn't stop. I played with him, yeah.
So we go back and forth with the DDPA and this and that. In my opinion, they weren't consistent this year, but I think that's how we learn, and I think that's how we get better every year. There's always going to be an issue. No one's going to be happy.
Yeah,
of
it
course.
doesn't matter.
But I'm gonna give you a question since you're part of the DDPA and how you guys handle this. When somebody in the DDPA has no idea who the player is, like no idea, but your vote matters, right? How do you guys come up with that conclusion, and how important is your vote? Do you sit to the side and you're like, no? What happens?
So me personally, because we're involved in the situation right now that I can't speak of until we resolve the matter. I'm not that knowledgeable when it comes outside of players that are not in done deal, and I never seen them play. So my expectancy of the people with that knowledge and IQ is that their word weighs heavy. So, I mean, I don't want to bring up names or anything,
Right.
but I'm gonna trust what these people that have knowledge of these players do, and I hope that they're not doing stuff to their benefit or to screw over done deal. Because you gotta have faith in your fellow DDPA. Again, this is the only second season of DDPA, so there is gonna be more trials and tribulations and growing pains. And I honestly don't think that the DDPA gets better within, the next couple of years. I mean, they have to get better, but it's gonna be a constant evolution. There's always gonna be bitching. There's always gonna be complaining, and until you get 5 people that are in the same, mindset that can agree to something, like John was saying in one of the All the Smoke episodes, then there's always gonna be that, back and forth.
Yeah, it's something that's very interesting, because you get put in a spot. I feel like I'm just from an outsider because you don't know a lot of these red zone guys and stuff like that. So I was just always interested to see, and now that I hear how you guys do it, it's same. I hope that the integrity of the league, like they keep that in mind and they don't do anything that might benefit them or benefit somebody else or benefit a friend. But it's definitely a tough situation, and that's just something that like you said, every year we're gonna get better at it. We're gonna improve. Like I said before, next year I'm picking the DDPA, and I'm definitely looking at the chat here and there. Maybe I don't type as much as some other people, but I look at stuff. I look at integrity. I look at how much time people are involved in certain things in Done Deal, and that's how I'm gonna make my decision on generally people who I feel like generally care.
I want to make your deal better.
Yeah, we're honored to be a part of
And
it.
in this case, with this DDPA, you're the only one that's not involved in the other
Yeah, 100%.
leagues out of the 5.
I mean, that's just me. I love Done Deal, and maybe as I don't have time for that other league, man, I honestly don't give a fuck about the other league.
Maybe
So,
before the next draft, obviously you know who's in the season and who's not. Maybe at that draft, you know how we have the rankings for the captains that the owners put together or whatever.
Yes.
Maybe you could have a list of players that either they're on the waiting list.
We bought this up though. We bought
And
up
then
like
they would be, you give them a number where they could, the spot that they would have been ranked to, maybe just to help out people.
like people who are
don't
interested
know.
in joining Done Deal, but
Yeah.
maybe come
So
out to
that
at least
ranked-
one
so they're
scrimmage.
ranked. So they're ranked already. There's no bias because no teams have been picked already. So they already have a ranking in an area where they could go. So then if a player in that area goes down to injury, you already know somebody you can interject.
You see, to me, that'll bring transparency, and we spoke
Yeah.
about this when we first started Coffee with a Cop. That if there was a list or something of the sort, that we could know the replacements, because honestly, not everyone's gonna know
Yeah.
all these players.
Because
and,
once somebody gets
you know,
hurt, then that captain, he can know 50 people that plays flag football and that he can say is a good substitute. But if we had like already a pre-made list, of course that list isn't gonna, it's just more of a guideline. Maybe some of those people can't play or
But
whatever.
what we were told this year is that there is no waiting list. That you just bring up a player and it goes up to a vote.
Right.
Is that right?
That's
Well,
how
I'm
Johan-
not
that's how
saying,
Johan's
well, I'm not
handling it.
saying a waiting list, perhaps, but just a list of people that would be able
Like
to
a
come
free
in.
agency pool.
Yeah, like a free agency pool, and that those people are ranked pre-season, so there's no captain bias, there's
I get
no
what
friend
you're saying.
bias.
So yeah, because when you say waiting list, essentially it's
Yeah,
really
waiting
in
to get
order
in.
of people
Yeah.
that are waiting to get
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
I meant
Because
just a
you can
pool,
get exactly.
a free
Yeah,
agency
that's a
pool
better way of saying
of
it.
ranked
Yeah.
players, so it
And it
makes
makes
it
sure you guys
easier.
like, but maybe like
it
there's
brings straight
there's
up
30 players
transparency.
here, but if I'm a captain, I want someone here, and they're allowed to do that.
And
they're
then,
allowed to
but
do
then
that.
that's where the PA could come in.
Yeah, you know, that's where they come in, and it's a tough spot to be in
Yeah.
regardless.
And if they
You're
don't
gonna get a
agree,
lot
then
of
they're
shit
like,
for
we
it.
don't agree on this
I
person.
mean,
so
us
you
owners
can-
get a lot of shit for stuff too, but it's a part of
just an
running
idea.
something or being or having quote unquote power, whatever the case may be.
At the end of the day, not every decision and everything that's done is gonna be met with 100% approval.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter which way it's done. There's always gonna be negative feedback to it. So
There's always gonna be something to complain about. That's just the way I look at life.
the only thing I have found funny, because I know as a member of the Bills last season, we dealt with the DDPA on quite a few occasions. So the thing that I find the most ironic is that the player that has had the most problems with this DDPA, at least if you go and you read the chat, that he has a comment for every time the DDPA makes a decision, is a member of last year's DDPA, Mr. Jerson. And from the grapevine and the peanut gallery, it seems like you were a big roadblock in a lot of decisions last year for the DDPA, for you to be giving them so much shit this year, because you better than anyone else should know how these decisions come about. So give them some slack, all right?
I mean, who knows? That'll probably be me next season. I'll probably be giving the DDPA all this shit. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not that type of person. But like I said, man, people are gonna complain when complaining gets done. When something doesn't go someone's way, they're gonna complain. It's just simple as that.
I mean, and they're 3-8. What is he complaining about? None of these moves have affected their team.
Some people just want to talk.
Some people just want to be noticed, I guess, man. Well, we do have CP as a guest, and I do have some questions for him. CP,
We'll go.
from the beginning of Done Deal when you first started to now, what are some pros and cons? Stuff that you like, stuff that you want to see improve?
What I love about Done Deal is it gives everybody an opportunity, I think, to play. You know, there's some people that just love playing flag football, but they know they can't compete to the highest level. They just enjoy being out there. And I think that's one of the best things about this league, man. I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm not the most skilled, the most talented, but I know flag football. I've been playing it since I was 12 years old. I used to run my quote-unquote own done deal thing, but with no money. That you just pick up flag for years, right? And I think that's just something I love about done deal. It just gives everybody a chance. It gives the tier 4s, 5s, 3s, whatever the case may be, a chance to play. One of the cons that I would like to say is I don't like it when we make other people feel less than what they are. And what I mean by that is pretty much some of these guys, sometimes they, like, I'll give them an example from my team. There's been multiple times where I let Tony play offense when they're only playing 4 most of the time for my own reasons. But a huge reason is because, like, yo, like, you paid your bread to get in here. Yeah, like, I'm gonna be on the field on defense when it matters, stuff like that. But, like, I'm never gonna be like, yo, Tony, don't play. This is not, like, if he wants to come in for a few plays and stuff like that, come in here. If anybody feels a certain type of way and they feel like they're being mistreated in the sense of, like, they're not getting enough playing time, whatever, come talk to one of us. You know, like, get it handled. Have a conversation with your team. You know, that's the whole challenge about done deal, is having these captains come and being the general manager controlling a team just to see how it's handled. I feel like Piki, Yohan, Baca, Dave, the players like that have really understood how it is, and they tend to get everybody involved.
Let me piggyback off of that and ask you something, or your opinion on this. Now that you mentioned that everybody pays their fee and all that, so shouldn't a player that, God forbid, plans change, whatever, they were missing a week and now they're not, if they're coming back, why should that even be taken to a vote? Like, they're back, they paid their fees, let them play.
So it should be taken to a vote because technically,
It lowers their ranking, right?
you could say like from a technical standpoint,
Look, Molly, his
I didn't
ranking
draft this
wasn't
guy.
gonna be-
That I didn't get that
But it
logic with
happened
that.
with Pedro one year, right?
It happened with Pedro, and then Pedro, same thing, and he got suspended for that. That's why this came in because of Pedro. So
The Pedro rule.
the way that I see it is shit happens. So I can speak for my person because it happened to me. Trip got canceled. All this and that. I wrote in the owners chat and I'm like, yo guys, my trip got canceled. I'm still gonna be out there to do what I have to do for done deal. If I can play, I can play. And then it's like, oh, let's do what we did previous years. Let's have the captains that are gonna be affected by it, which is the captains from our conference, and they voted for it. Now something happened where they didn't let Mally play or something like that, and they were going back and forth. I don't know what the case may be, but then everything got handled, and then to play. The way that I see it, we all play our fee. The best thing for the league is to let people play. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no disrespect to me and Mally, but like, there's a difference between when Mally or me are missing a week or whatever, than when like Ricky is missing a week or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, your drop off on where
Like,
you
you know,
drafted
like-
is gonna be a lot more.
like-
I mean,
I
and that was part of the DDPA's decision to accept the trade because you can't compare Ricky.
And another
They're
thing is-
both athletes.
I can't picture anyone. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna speak for the 4 of us here. We're not gonna say we're gonna miss a week with like knowing that we're not really gonna miss that week as some
That's gonna
competitive
lower
thing
your-
to
Yeah,
like.
I'll
it
say
happened
motives.
before though. That's why
It's happened multiple
times.
Pedro did, and he got
Yeah.
suspended for that. He got caught for that. He got caught for that, and he knows it himself. So
That's why he's a shark.
he's a shark. He's the king. He's the goat of sharking. He's the #1 original one. But yeah, I mean, bro. At the end of the day, we're here to compete. We're here to ball. I mean, obviously, in my opinion, I think I'm one of the most unbiased people in the deal. I think that's why I've been given the opportunity to be in the position where I'm at. So yeah, man. I mean, let them ball. I know some captains were like, oh, they're coming up to me like, oh, you should not play this and that. I just looked at them and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it is what it is. You know, like, I appreciate that you guys think that me being out there makes my team this and that. Whatever, bro. I don't care. Look,
Where's the competitive spirit if you're a captain and if you're confident that your team is going to be one of the best teams, you're going to win a championship?
I'm
but
speaking
you're
as a
upset?
player, not an owner right now. As a player, I don't give a fuck about no other team aside from the team that I'm on. That's
Right.
all.
I think
That's
we could
all
all
I
agree
do.
with that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we still gotta lace them up and play.
Yeah.
The
So-
games have to be played. No one's gonna be giving W's or L's on paper.
But do you guys feel like there's something that we could do better though?
As far as the commissioners,
No, it's like the league overall, like the owner. Do you think there's something that we should consider or do better now that we're here?
We can start enforcing rules and starting games on time. so that we don't have to leave the field at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
usually I work on Saturday, so I have my time planned out.
Every game start at least 15 to 20 minutes late
Yeah, get back to everything.
from the 8
It
o'clock.
really does.
So
Like
start
I think
holding
there should
players
be no
accountable?
excuse for that.
Like,
Yeah,
if you're not
yeah.
here, that's it.
If
If
you-
you starting, too bad.
Like for example, and those teams, and it happened because we were playing, and just because you're not playing at 8 o'clock doesn't mean you don't have to be there because you have to ref.
Yeah. You have an obligation when you sign up for the
Right.
You already know before the season is. I'm big on punctuality.
You know the time, you know
so
the
like
time.
now, I know for us, like you guys have the early shift this
Next-
coming
yes,
week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have the second one. That doesn't give me the right to show up at 8:20 because I don't
You
play
still
for
have to
another
ref
25
or-
minutes. Correct.
Yeah. I think too, a lot of people have been complaining about the 4 games straight on that turf. Or
I
whatever.
would love to talk about this. I would love to. So this is my opinion, right? I don't think 4 games is the issue. Like playing 4 games. I think since we're playing in the stadium, 4 games is an issue. Because we've never felt that heat ever before and playing 4 games.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm in the best of shape or this and that. And shit happens. It's football.
The field has a
I
lot
think
to
the
do with
field
it.
is the main issue, but guess what? Y'all wanted turf, y'all wanted a football stadium. You know, I get it now. 4 fields because of the field that 4 games because of the field that we're playing in is definitely an issue, and we're gonna do 3 games. We're gonna do 3 games. If we're playing in Tropical Stadium, we're gonna do 3 games next season.
Alright, so you heard it here first, baby. First,
So
CP said it. Guys, you have any closing comments?
I just hope, you know, everybody continues to show up on time, please everybody, be healthy, do whatever you have to do. Just more importantly, man, have out there and ball out, you know.
GG's.
Talk your shit, do what you gotta do. I love seeing all that, and who knows? That's who I put on the hot seat this week.
Dame.
Make sure you watch that, guys. Bendizi.
Just blessed to be a part of something in Dundee.
You know we love you.
Te vomito.
Yeah.
You know we
Dame
love you.
6 grados.
I miss it. Next season, the tournament, I'm gonna be there.
You gonna be there at the tournament?
Yeah.
You heard that here
once
first too.
Once that payment,
Exclusive.
once that payment option opens up, send it right to Andres or right to CP or right to whoever I need to. We'll send it to both of them.
I'll reject that.
Perfect.
GG's, bro.
Alright,
Be
GG's,
close.
yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had